Good morning. Sign up for free Premier League research this weekend. footballtradingprofits.com/free trial offer. Wait for the pop-up box, stick your name and email down, and we'll get in touch with you straight away. With a small course on trading and an additional bonus, free Premier League research every Saturday and Sunday. All of the research will be sent to you on a Saturday into your email address. And I hope you enjoy. Make some money. Looking at yesterday. Don't get any member of PSV to buy you a lottery ticket. We took out insurance at footballtradingprofits.com, so we were okay. Twice hitting the post. Once a penalty. VAR'd off. They were absolutely dominant, but could have got caught on the break by Brest. Very, very good performance from Brest yesterday, but very unlucky from PSV. I don't know what to do with the Champions League. It's either going to be this or it's going to be this. It was very difficult. Liverpool only managed to win via a penalty. That's not quite in keeping with those odds, is it? Atalanta gave Real Madrid a really good run for their money. I would have liked to have taken Real Madrid on if they had a 2-goal lead. 3-1, possible. It is a good Atalanta side, but this Real Madrid suddenly coming into their own after having a really bad run away from home. Didn't get the late goal from Bayer Leverkusen. This was attack v defence pretty much. Typical of a Champions League. I can't split these two. It's not like league football where we've got patterns to work off. Elsewhere, well done to Aston Villa scoring 3 goals away from home. And I suppose if we're looking at Leipzig's recent woeful performances in the Bundesliga, conceding 5 goals against Wolfsburg and then a further 4 goals against Hoffenheim. We could have, and indeed 3 goals against Celtic, for goodness sake. We could have looked at the possibility of Villa scoring more than one. But then this Villa in the Champions League have been a little poor, just with 1-0. So that's the problem we have. These are one-off matches. PSG looking for that goal before half-time. They were utterly dominant, hitting 100 plus in the attacking pressure index, and indeed did get that single goal before half-time. What a pity they couldn't follow up with the 0-2 or 0-3. I loaded up profit on 0-2, 0-3. You can see Red Bull Salzburg having trouble up front. One of a growing number of teams negatively affected by this new look Champions League. For example, this lot failed to score in 3 consecutive Bundesliga matches when, as is typical, odds on. Shakhtar Donetsk scored first against Bayern Munich. I've just got this problem with Vincent Kompany. I just think he's a little green behind the gills, but this is a performance of note. 1.17. That's exactly what you expect. We expect a goal before half-time as well. So we could have arguably taken on Shakhtar Donetsk lead in the half-time market. And as you can see, that's the reaction you expect of a 1.17 shot. So that was one which I missed out on. Looking in England, Burnley failed to score, but I should have got on this Sunderland late winner. If you had an in-play stats feed yesterday, you'll have agreed with me. That was coming. It won't show you the in-play stats coming up to the 90th minute, but it will show you the second half dominance of Sunderland, 13 goal attempts. It was a lot more emphatic coming to the end. They were very, very strong. I went for Burnley. Burnley scoring 5 goals in the last 15 minutes at home. Derby conceding 5 goals in the last 15 minutes of away matches. Not as emphatic as their performance against Middlesbrough. Talking of Middlesbrough did score a goal, and I should have really laid the draw because they don't tend to score that second against the top 5. Leeds, more emphatic goals. Superb performance. Elsewhere, well, Plymouth, we nearly had a brilliant comeback. Why? As I said, Wayne Rooney, football genius, far more accomplished at home. Look at this comeback from 0-3 down. That's what caught my eye to 3-3. We got a goal you could have actually made a profit on that one too. But of course, with a low liability, 72 quid if it ended up in a draw. We're talking something like 200-300 quid. Plymouth pull off the win. We nearly got there. Nearly. They were threatening. Bundu, 79th minute. But 11 minutes to score a second. Didn't quite cross the line. What a pity. On to today. And it's the Europa League and Europa Conference League. I'm not sure if I'm up and about. Champions League, sorry. Continues. I'm getting ahead of myself. Thursday, Europa League, Europa Conference League. I was researching that yesterday. Just researching the Europa League for you yesterday. Conference League I won't research. But there are some excellent teams in there like Fiorentina, etc. But looking on to today, Atletico Madrid have been in quite wonderful form. And they've been a trader's friend. They came from 1-3 down at the weekend to win 4-3 against Sevilla. Prior to that, they were in the Copa del Rey, scored 2 late goals. We're talking 93rd minute plus in the Copa del Rey. And I did warn you about that one. I hope you got on that one. So Atletico Madrid look well worth following. Watch out for Alvarez. I want to see him playing. That for me, they should bring it home. We should be seeing goals before half time. AC Milan against Red Star Belgrade. Again, that looks a banker material. Arsenal against Monaco, the French connection. Arsenal are quite wonderful at the weekend. We were very unlucky not to pick up a win. Who was it? Martinelli offside by a whisker. They are brilliant. Monaco themselves are pretty handy in the French League. But Arsenal, I think Arteta is a brilliant manager, full of really creative ideas, such as scoring from corners. They've scored 20 odd goals from corners or something stupid like that. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. Can't fault Arsenal. They look reliable, don't they? All of these are much of a muchness, really. I don't know strengths or weaknesses. Benfica and Bologna. Dortmund and Barca is one of those high-profile clashes. I'd be more favouring Barcelona, I think. Dortmund have been a little hit and miss, but again, this is one for the in-play stats. Feyenoord against Sparta Prague. Again, it's a difficult one to unpack. I wouldn't be putting Feyenoord up as such short-price favourites. We saw PSV Eindhoven yesterday. Similar odds, not even scoring, albeit away from home. Juve against Man City, where you can see Man City's doldrums, not even odds on here. The old lady, likely to be packing the defence. Man City, you just don't know which Man City turns up, do you? Away from home, they've been absolutely awful. Let's have a look. And it continues, doesn't it? Loss, 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 draw. And if Crystal Palace are scoring 2 goals against you, you're in a spot of bother. Teams are scoring 2 goals against them with ease. Both teams to score looks a viable option if the old lady get going. I don't know what they're like in the Champions League, but I do. Let's go. uk.soccerway.com for your Champions League research. Let's have a look at Juve in the Champions League. So you can actually focus purely, well, you can look overall. We're on a case of a touch of drawitis at the moment, but let's have a look individually at the Champions League, because league form means nothing. And an obvious problem for the old lady, a lack of goals up front. 0-1 against Stuttgart, 1-1 against Lille, and a 0-0 against Aston Villa. That's not what you want to see. At home, it's hit or miss, isn't it? Hardly emphatic. PSV didn't exactly frank that form yesterday, did they? Paris Saint-Germain just losing by a single goal. That could be the case today. I think with Man City, we could see a 1 goal in it performance. Man City all over the place. 3-0 up against Feyenoord, let 3 goals slip. 4-1 loss to Sporting Lisbon. This is a Sporting Lisbon without their manager. Gyökeres. A couple of penalties though. Bit like Wolverhampton Wanderers the other day, conceding 8 goals in 2, but 5 of those were penalties or an own goal. So that adds a little bit of a gloss to a 4-1 scoreline. So, fascinating match. in-play stats for Man City. Just don't know which one turns up. Stuttgart, well, they've been excellent, really, in the Bundesliga, particularly pre-Champions League. At the weekend, if you had faith in them, they came from behind. I think 2 goals down to get the win 3-2. Young boys of Bern, we know all about them. They are great trading side in the Swiss Super League. Not sure how they'll get on outside of that. Are they a fish out of water? Let's have a look. Stuttgart and the young boys, Champions League only form. This is a great website for it. This is a great website for looking at cup football, for looking at friendlies, etc. DBF Pokal, and looking at the Bundesliga home and away. Great filters available at uk.soccerway.com. So you're looking, Stuttgart conceded 7-2. This is out of nowhere. Crvena Zvezda, I don't know how Stuttgart lost that. They were not expected to. So I don't know what was going on there. And they do look a little ropey, don't they? And at home, they're not getting any wins. But that's a good performance. 1-1 against Barca. Young boys look out of their depth, don't they? So you'd be favouring Stuttgart today on that basis. That looks more readable to me. Fenerbahce and Atletico Bilbao. You know how much I like Atletico Bilbao. They have been superb. Fenerbahce, under the special one, lost to Besiktas at the weekend, I believe. With this in mind, I would suspect they did the same when he was at Chelsea, didn't he? Tended to lose pre-Champions League. See that 1-0 loss to Besiktas at the weekend. But let's have a look at the special one in the Europa League, the league phase. 1-2 win against Slavia Prague, coming from behind. Edin Dzeko and El Nesri picking up some really solid players, particularly up front. At home, under the special one, unbeaten. That's what you expect. He tends to do that. Not exactly goal merchants. Score and concede without losing. You might want to look at that pattern. But they're meeting a different animal in Atletico Bilbao. Look at this. Well, Girona, last team to beat them. But they are brilliant. But let's have a look more in depth at their Europa League form. Does it continue? Well, it does. Elfsborg, Ludogorets, Slavia Prague, AZ. Arguably, this will be one of the tougher encounters for Atletico Bilbao. But like Fiorentina playing tomorrow, they do look reliable. But both teams are scoring in the last 2 away matches for Atleti. So we might see both teams to score today. I would be looking at the in-play stats to see which Atletico Bilbao turns up. We know what we're going to get from Fenerbahce, packing that defence for the special one. The English Championship continues on today, and the market is warning you. It's a tough coupon. 2.45 the favourite, 2.45 the favourite, 2.35 the favourite, 2.2 the favourite. If favourites are at these odds, quite simply, the market's saying we can't pick a winner. So whenever I see these odds, my immediate thought is to in-play stats as the only real way to split the two sides. But let's have a look at a little bit of research, particularly Millwall and Sheffield United. I think what you're going to be seeing with Sheffield United is really solid defensive work from them. Millwall have been competitive, as they have to be really at the Den, otherwise they'll get fed to the Lions. Let's have a look. Millwall and Sheffield United. Any patterns? I think Sheffield United are going to go back up. They're really, really solid defensively, tough to beat. And look at Millwall, equally tough to beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 matches without that second goal conceded by Millwall. It's solid stuff. Under 2.5 goals. Solid stuff. Sheffield United, a little bit of an aberration against West Brom. Not their usual, but they tend to be more vulnerable away from home. You can see that here. A couple of 2-2s. But at home, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of the last 9 matches without that second goal conceded. So this is a clash of defensively strong sides today. You can tell no goal conceded in 8 at home for the Blades. No defeat in 4 away, but we're looking at home form for Millwall. 11 consecutive under 2.5 goal Millwall matches, 6 consecutive unders for Millwall. This is a snooze fest, I would suspect. Defence is on top. It's at 13th against second. Millwall against the top 4 are pretty resilient. 1-0 home win, 1-0 home win, 1-1. So they could keep Sheffield United to at least a goal. Watch out if it's 0-0 late on. You might want to look at a possibility of a 1-0 or a 0-1. So that is a very strong pattern. That's why we've got the challenge table. It will alert you how teams perform against teams at different sections of the table. It's quite obvious pattern there for Millwall. Add that in to their 11 consecutive under 2.5 goals, and Sheffield United are going to have their work cut out today. Away from home, they're playing 13th today. They are unbeaten home and away against 7th and lower Sheffield United. Yet the market's not taken by them. It's 2.45 the favourite. Why? Because it's likely to be defence v defence. Scoring, well, Sheffield United away from home tend to score more in the first half, which is strange, particularly when you're so defensively strong. Their normal modus operandi is look for a 0-0 and nick a late 0-1. Late enough that the side cannot come back. Millwall, contrary-wise, 69% of the goals scored have come second half. So it's a clash. First half goals against second half goals. And this is a typical 2.45 the favourite match, isn't it? You can't find really a weakness in either side. Defences are strong, etc. Let's have a look at one other match. The Baggies were pretty good, weren't they, against Sheffield United, scoring 2 goals. Now, if they can score 2 goals against Sheffield United, they can score 2 goals against other teams. Let's have a look at this. We know Coventry can light up the goals as well. This will be a good one for Soccer Stats. And it'll probably be a good advert for you, again, about avoiding 2.4 the favourite or relying on in-place stats rather than anything else. I think it's a 0-0 sequence for the Baggies. That ended, though, didn't it? 2-2 against Sheffield United. So a touch of the Udinese's about West Brom. Udinese drawing last season. Huge amount of matches, but look at this. Dropping 2 points despite not losing. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 points dropped without losing since the 5th of October. That is the difference between a potential playoff place and a potential automatic promotion place. The manager must be clearly frustrated at this. Awful stuff. Coventry, well, we don't know which Coventry turns up. Is it the 3-goal Coventry, the 2-goal Coventry, or is it the Coventry limping to 1 or 0 goals in the last 2 away? Maybe the challenge table will reveal which Coventry turns up today. So let's have a look. Drawitis, no defeat in 11. Yeah, but that doesn't mask the problem. You've dropped 20 points despite not losing. They have scored 2 goals in each of the last 2 at home, which augurs well if they can keep that defence solid. It's all very well scoring 2, but if you're conceding 2, equals another damn draw for the Baggies. 8th against 15th. Some promise here. Wins have started to turn up against 17th and lower. Unbeaten home and away against 13th and lower. Unbeaten at home, albeit sporadically, against 9th and lower. A bit of a gap here, 14th to 21st. Coventry, they're playing a top 8 side today, and they will be feeling quite confident. If we take away the top 3, they might just be a step too far for Coventry, but a 2-2 against Sunderland and 0-3 against Middlesbrough. I think there was a red card in play there. And a 1-1 against Watford. 1-1 against Bristol City. They are competitive away from home. Hence, ladies and gentlemen, 2.45 the favourite. You can see now why the bookies price these matches as they do. It's very difficult to call a winner, particularly when you have a side drawing and another side adept away from home. Watch out for second half goals, particularly conceding for Coventry City if they are leading. But then the Baggies have only scored 2 home goals in the second half, which is awful. So draw writers, 6-0 nils at half-time at home, 4 at full-time. So you're going to have to question whether you take on the second half 0-0 because it ain't happening for West Brom, is it? It is for Coventry, 4-0 nils away at half-time, none at full-time. That, ladies and gentlemen, is why it's 2.45 the favourite. 2 of them we've done now, and we still can't pick a winner. So you guess what's going to happen with this. It's going to be too tough to call. In-play stats, therefore, in the English Championship today. So I'll leave you there. Don't forget free Premier League research. Go to footballtradingprofits.com/free trial offer. Wait for the pop-up box and stick your name and email address down there. Get a free course on trading and we'll get you that Premier League research for Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to throw in Sunday's research for you as well for free in your inbox. As soon as I get it done, it'll be sent to you. Might do a live stream, free live chat on Sunday, but I am over with family. It is, I think it's my nephew's birthday on the 15th of December, which is a Sunday. So if they're coming round or having a party, then I will be focusing more on family at Christmas. I hope you'll understand. I live very, very far away from my family, so I do need to make the time with them count. I'm sure you're busy enough. Of course, all the men amongst you will be preparing yourself for your Christmas shopping at 5:29 p.m. on the 24th of December, like I will, of course. Have a great day. If you fancy it, free Premier League research, footballtradingprofits.com/free trial offer. Come along, sign up for the e-letter. We'll get some great stuff for you every Friday. Free football trading research and some new angles that I'm working on as well. Have a great day. And members of footballtradingprofits.com, I hope to see you from 5:45 onwards today. I might have something to do this evening, in which case I do apologise. But I'm keen to trade, particularly the Champions League. The starred matches are the ones where initially I've got an instinct for a certain team. So we will see what eventuates there. You can see Man City have just suddenly gone in. Well, they were evens, weren't they, a second ago? Now they've just got in to 1.95. But the old lady are going to be tough resistance. Have a great day. I hope to see members of footballtradingprofits.com a little bit later on.